BBC Radio Northampton.
Most of us heard about. You had a gastro band fitted. She was portrayed almost as the first one ever. She wasn't by a long shot, and there have been many since. Now touring to talk about her experience with gastrosurgery, Anne Diamond, and with her, from the hospital group, Surgeon Dr. Shaw Summers. Hi, both.
Good morning.
It's you and Sharon Osbourne in the public eye, isn't it?
As far as we know.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll bet there are lots of other people, actually.
How common is it?
Well, it's much more common than you'd think. When I had it done, I thought I was a bit freak and weirdy. Does that make any sense? But you know what I mean. And certainly that's how the papers portrayed it when they found out that it was really, really unusual. I'd done this rare and extraordinary thing.
But for you, it was your second attempt at having one fitted, wasn't it?
Yes, in the end it was. I had to have the whole operation redone because I had fallen for the old thing of going abroad. Because it was cheaper, and it also offered me an anonymity, which extraordinarily didn't work out in the end.
And why hadn't it worked? Because it wasn't fitted properly? Because your body rejected it? What?
Well, sure, we'll tell you, but it was basically in the wrong place. Right. It had been put in the wrong place.
Yes. And where does it have to go then, Shaw?
Ideally, the band has to go around the top of the stomach, not the bottom of the gullet. And although the difference is only probably about an inch, it makes a difference to how you feel when you swallow. Anne's band made her swallowing difficult with every mouthful of food. It was painful, and the band either blocked it completely or it didn't work at all.
So you had to then have it taken off?
Had to take it off and put a band properly lower down, so she actually had a little pouch, a little antechamber.
Yeah, because the idea is that it should give you a little stomach. Yeah. That's the whole idea.
And it restricts the amount of food that goes in the stomach.
Yeah, because you've got a smaller stomach. It's literally that. I mean, you have still got the rest of your stomach as well, because there is no cutting away. But yes, the idea is it's literally, logically, you've just got a tiny little stomach.
So what's involved in the operation then, Shaw?
It's usually keyhole surgery. And
so you're not left with the scar?
You have 4 or 5 little scars on the tummy, and then the band is placed around the top of the stomach, and about a month after the band is placed, we can start to either inflate the band and deflate it as necessary. It's inflatable and adjustable, which gives each patient the ability to modify the way the operation works to suit their particular diet, their degree of weight loss.
And the factors that can bring about obesity, they're there for genetic reasons, metabolism, bad and excessive eating, self-esteem. Which one of those was relevant to you, Anne?
Oh, probably all of them. I don't know. You know, it's got to the point where I'm fed up trying to ask why, and I just needed to do something. I've always been very little, actually, and then I think probably after I'd had 5 children, life was more centred around the kitchen, around domestic routine. I was also doing radio instead of television, things like that. Suddenly the weight just crept on, and even though I did successfully lose a lot of weight twice, it always piled back on, and I was turning into a career yo-yo dieter. And I'd spent most of my 40s in this vain battle against weight, and I was determined I was not going to become a fat old lady, and I didn't want to spend my 50s also dieting and endlessly failing, and that's why the gastric band appealed to me, and in the end it really has worked.
So how much have you lost?
Oh, I've lost about 4 stone, but I think more important to most women listening, actually men too, I've lost about 5 dress sizes.
Right.
And I've got 1 more to go before Christmas. And then I'm going to spend a lot of money on clothes.
Just with the band, or have you had to ally it to exercise?
Well, I lost 1 stone during Celebrity Fit Club. Just by hard work and being bullied. But that does not, I can speak from the heart. I've been there and done it. It doesn't work in the long run. Some of us need rather more permanent solutions.
Are you on a special diet as a result of the band?
No, the whole point of the band is that you eat normal diet. You do have, because you're eating so much less than before, you do have to concentrate quite hard that the food that's going in you is good food. So it does make you think about these things. But no, the whole idea is that you live a completely normal life, and I do.
So do you get hungry?
Oh, yes. I'm hungry right this moment,
right.
Yes.
But that's the thing about putting on weight, isn't it?
No, you don't get nearly so hungry. My life is no longer controlled by food. I'm no longer obsessed about my weight. All of that's gone. I'm like one of those people I used to envy who could sit down in a restaurant and eat half a meal and watch the waiter take the rest away and not worry about it. It's brilliant. I am no longer governed by my food. And what might have been my own addiction to food, I don't know. Now it's just part of life.
And how much does it cost?
Well, that's interesting. You see, that's why I'm going on this tour, to talk about it, because I was bamboozled, really, into going abroad because I thought it was cheaper there, because on paper it looks cheaper. It is more expensive here. It can cost between about £6,000 or £7,000 here in Britain.
Only private at the moment?
No, a lot of it's done on the NHS.
Yeah, there are certain people that are eligible for surgery on the NHS. If you're heavily overweight and you've got an illness like diabetes or blood pressure or high cholesterol, you can, if you fit the criteria, get your operation on the NHS, and most GPs should know the criteria for that.
But I think just anyone contemplating it privately should just know. I just want to tell them my story so that they'll know the questions to ask. They know how to look at the whole thing, because you can sometimes not get what you bargained for.
Closest venue to us is Birmingham, where you will be on the 25th of October. The Get Your Life Back tour. You can find out about it on the Hospital Group's website, which is thehospitalgroup.org. OK, simply that, thehospitalgroup.org.
Or you can go onto my website, which is just there to support people who are fighting fat, www.fathappens.com.
In 10 seconds, the point was made by a journalist last week that it's an operation for those with no willpower. Do you think that's fair?
No, it's an operation for those who have absolutely had enough of diets and want to actually crack the problem.
Good for you. Thehospitalgroup.org. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.